In this video, we'll look at some really basic concepts to functions just to give you a great overview. And so a vertical asymptote is always to do with your x's. And so that could come in if you had something like this. Your x asymptote, think of this as a bracket. The answer that comes out of here is -3. And so there would be your vertical asymptote, and you'd say x equals -3 is the equation. Whereas the y asymptote is just the number at the end here. And so that's a horizontal one, y equals -2. At the intersection, this is a very common question. You simply make the two graphs equal to each other, and then you solve. If you want to sub in x equals 2, a fancy way that you could be writing it if fx equals 5x minus 7 is you just say f of 2 equals 5, and instead of x you put 2, and that would give you 10 minus 7 is 3. So if you ever get given something like this, it just represents a point, and that's helpful to just log and remember this. So when I see this, it should have been f of x, so that's like your x, and this is y, so it's like saying y equals 3. So that just represents a point when you see that. You might be very used to this by now, but just to reiterate, a coordinate always is alphabetical. It's x, y. Average gradient, you've got the y's on top. Just make sure that you always sub it in brackets. So let's look at an example of average gradient. What's the gradient between A and B? So it's a change in y's. It doesn't matter if I start at this point A or this point B as long as I'm consistent. So it would be -15 minus 0 over 2 minus -3. It's so sad how often people forget the brackets and would say something like 2 minus 3. And then it all goes south. So you end up with -15 over +5, which is -3. And so that's the gradient between these 2 points. To reiterate, if that was the gradient for this straight line, then it would be y equals mx plus c, but I know the gradient is -3, and so I could then sub in a point. Whenever I'm missing a letter, sub in a point. You could pick whichever one is easier. While I'm on it, if the gradient was -3, if a line's parallel, then you would start your equation the same way with the exact same gradient. If they said, oh, there's another line and it's perpendicular to the line that you've just worked out the gradient -3, if it's perpendicular, the gradient would just, if this is -3 over 1, it would just flip around, so 1 over 3, and change signs. So it would start off with a positive third. And so if I wanted the equation of this line, it would be a third x plus c. And again, I'd look for a point somewhere on this line to sub in to work out c. I hope that you found this introduction helpful. If you did, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends.